America's nonprofit sector has experienced steady growth in the number of nonprofit organizations in recent decades. This is due to many factors, including a shift toward private provision of government services, changing demographics, and an increased demand for nonprofit services, especially as government expands its funding to this sector. Growth has also been driven by supply as socially focused organizations and governments and entrepreneurs face low entry barriers to establish nonprofit enterprises. This growth of the sector has spurred competition for resources and encouraged market forces, which in turn have driven organizations and funders to focus more heavily on the organizational performance and effectiveness. In this increasingly professionalized environment, organizations receive considerable pressure to improve and demonstrate effectiveness in order to ensure their viability. And why do I say all this? In a sense, I'm um, helping you to understand the combined benefits of having a nonprofit organization connected to your profit organization. I managed a dance company for years, and one interesting component of this was to have a nonprofit management arm, and we were able to get grants and do various other things. So, let me just talk a little bit about a consulting project that I was involved with. I was working with Dr. Larry Greiner. Dr. Larry Greiner was a professor of management and organization at University of Southern California when I was working on my doctorate. He has contributed a number of things to this specialty in consulting. His current research, or the research at the time, involved senior executive leadership behavior, human resource management and services, strategic types in different industries, and free will versus deterministic in organizational theory. So we bonded very well. He was called by Children's Institute Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that provides services to children and families healing from the effects of family and community violence in Los Angeles. All right, so uh, they expanded their services to all at-risk youth. They started out focusing on women, and then they expanded to all youth. And they hired us to help evolve them into the growing facilities. They had one facility in Mid Wilshire in the Koreatown community, but they were considering moving to other areas. One of which was the Westlake campus, and then they were also looking at moving into um, Watts area and Central Los Angeles communities. So um, they asked us to do a capacity diagnostic project with them. They were in a stage of their organizational life cycle where they were very challenged by organizational capacity building. All right, so we were brought in then to see if we can assist, and there were a lot of things that we took into consideration for the components of a strategic human capital plan that we provided for them. A central pillar in strategic management of human capital is the alignment of the human capital strategies with the agency's mission. So we had to do that. We had to get a good sense of what were their goals and objectives, and how does the management resource feed into that. All right. So the human capital planning is a method by which they design a coherent framework of human capital policy, programs, and practices that really integrate with their shared vision. Um, and, although there are some unique structures that we saw in this project, there really are some common elements of a clear strategic direction, and stakeholder goals. So we had to meet with outside people in the Los Angeles area. We had a sense of different university partners, and we were able to put together communication plan and a change management plan by looking at the internal drivers, external drivers, looking at performance plans, and in particular looking at the vision of the workforce needed. Like I said, they had a satisfied workforce in the Los Angeles Wilshire district, but they were looking at expanding south of there about 20 miles, and they were challenged about whether or not they should have the same employees just commute back and forth between those, or should they look for new talent? And of course, this should be high performing, technically competent talent because of the uniqueness of what they were doing. We also got involved with them in discussing continuous development as they were moving into different service areas. All right, so we needed, in a sense, to come up with some sort of a flexible staffing process and reassign or rotate the employees in the proper function areas. So it took a lot of interviewing to get there, but um, I feel very satisfied that we did a pretty good job. We ended up moving them into uh, a number of impact projects in the Los Angeles area, working with all the various local police and universities in the area, um, in particular the Harvard UCLA Medical Center and the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health and Children and Family Services. We moved them into various early childhood programs, child welfare programs, and youth development programs as well. So, in summary, what I'm saying here is that when you attach a nonprofit enterprise to your profit organization, um, you not only increase the net worth and net value of your business by adding that component, but you create a lot of exposure due to philanthropic work, and you leave a footprint and you leave a legacy. So I'm very proud of what we did there. In both for CII and the various for-profit industries that work with us, and personally with the dance company that I managed and the nonprofit organization that we connected to that. So, summarizing, nonprofit goals address society problems and they benefit the public as opposed to members or stockholders. And of course, the beauty on the financial side is you're eligible for public and private grants. But as you combine these goals with the for profit goals, it's a powerful management model that establishes credibility, goodwill, trustworthiness, and exposure. All right. Hope this was informative and fascinating, and hope that you consider developing a nonprofit perhaps in future of your business plans.